Hey everybody, I hope you guys are all doing okay, and welcome back to our Might and Magic VII completionist run. In this episode, well, you already know what we're gonna do from the video title, but before we get to that, oh my god, hang on a second. Forget about it. I don't care about trying to cheat the, well, not even cheat, but like trying to cheese the like the haste ran out, and now we're all weak. I'm just gonna. Oh, the flight also ran out, or did we not even have flight active? Let's just cast that. We just need to go here.
Do you need medical attention?
Here we go. It's pretty expensive, I guess.
Take care.
There's another condition. Forget about it. It's not even a thing. Just because I like having my buffs on. Gonna cast Day of the Gods again. Alright, so last episode we tried to go into Clanker's lab, and upon our attempted entry we were accosted by Archibald Ironfist. And at the time I was surprised, because I expected to be able to enter, but then I was like, maybe this is because we are on the light side path, and we should be able to enter, and maybe this is what happens when you try to go in as a light side character, because if this was a dark side thing, then that would be a mandatory quest location. But when I looked it up, I think it might be the game bugging out, because yes, Archibald does show up eventually when you're on the light side, but not for quite a while. So I think this is probably another instance of the game bugging out and causing something to trigger before it should have. In this case, because Archibald is there at the entrance to Clanker's lab, we can never get in, we can never fight the things inside, we can never get all that sweet, sweet loot. It's a moot point for the most part, because we never needed to go there for the game plot. It just means that it's yet another strike against just how comprehensive this completionist run actually is. I'm still calling it a completionist run in that we're gonna do everything that the game is going to allow us to do, but things that we can't do because the game has glitched are beyond my control, and I don't know why it happened. I haven't edited the save files in any way, so either something broke for some reason in my save, or this is something that is just constantly broken if you're playing on GOG, or some change that the GOG version made in order to make this game playable on newer versions of Windows is also causing that to break. Okay, you know what? You can probably hear the disappointment in my voice. I'm very sad. I love Clanker's Lab a lot, but we just cannot go there, because if we try to go there, let me refresh. It was literally just the last episode, but if we try and go there, then Archibald is going to be standing at the entrance, and he shouldn't be there. It isn't until later in the game that, you know what, let's just get over it. Let's just let it go. Clanker's Lab is not gonna happen. Let us just let's just dry our tears and move on. You see, every time we try and go in, Archibald is gonna say this thing, which I'm pretty sure is supposed to be not even end game, but like very like you've beaten the game kind of dialogue. So not really a spoiler even, but just a bit deflating that a bug like this is thwarting our enjoyment of the game. Alright, now with that sadness out of the way, let's go back to Castle Harmondale to do the thing that we actually want to do for this episode, which is to explore our castle. Yes. Finally, I think...
It's closed. It's closed.
Yeah, there are shops here as well. I always forget that. As we are gonna take a walk around, because I'm pretty sure at this point everything in this castle is now unlocked and available, because those quests where you're opening up new, or the quests which result in new parts of the castle being opened up, are over. Gavin, Magnus, and engineers. Now we have we have an upstairs and a downstairs, and that's confirmation that everything is done. Let's take a look. An old. Oh yeah, okay. We've already been to the torture chamber area. We had to kill some guys there for the Stanley quest. But yeah, this is what we're gonna spend this entire episode doing. We're just gonna explore our castle. We're gonna walk around, we're gonna go everywhere, we're gonna pick up stuff. If there's any loot to be found, it's ours, because this is our castle. As our butler, our representative told us, if there's something inside a chest, it's because... What is this? Get out of here. Get lost.
Let's leave it behind.
If there's anything in chests, it's because it was left for us as a gift. But even if it wasn't, this is our castle. I know I'm saying that a lot, but it just feels nice to be walking around in our own home. Here we go. Here's a bunch of stuff.
It's disarmed.
Not a,
It's disarmed.
you know, breathtaking amount of treasure, but yeah, you know, it's a,
It's disarmed.
it's a thing.
It's disarmed.
It's you know, not
It's
too
disarmed.
shabby. Small amounts of gold there.
Let's leave it behind. That's it.
Yeah, we're just gonna walk around and we're gonna take in the sights. And that is gonna be all that we do for this episode. It's probably gonna be on the shorter side, but I felt the need to do this for a couple of reasons. Number one, I've been saying for such a long time now, every time we town portal to Castle Harmondale, and I see that the castle is unexplored, I'm like, oh, yeah, we can't do it right now, but someday we'll come back and explore it. And I wanted to do it before we launch into the actual endgame. Because by the time that time rolls by, I think then coming back here and exploring this place would really feel like a bit of an anticlimax. And here we go, here's some bigger piles of gold. So we're just gonna walk around and just taking the place. I know I'm not commenting on every single thing, but I am noticing it. We're now in a library, and I'm sure some of these bookcases are gonna have things in them, maybe? Yeah, okay, here's a scroll. Oh, hey, this is a... So sorry, I'm getting a bit distracted by this note. It's a note on basic cryptography. Oh, okay. You have 2 parts of the key, and then you need both of them to get the final thing. Alright. Okay, well, we'll keep that in mind. We'll keep that in mind. Anything else in these bookcases? Doesn't look like it. Alright, well, it's good that we picked up that note. A bit of flavor text. Perhaps a bit of foreshadowing. Or perhaps not. Oh, and there's some more barrels here. I do like the design of this place. It looks pretty cool. I know in the beginning of the game, when we first got this castle, it really was a bit of a dump.
I have no
But I think
idea.
That's it.
I think we fixed this up pretty nice.
Leave it behind.
If you know, we were doing that whole home flipping thing, I think we could get some pretty nice return on this, but of course can't really sell our property in this game, I guess. You know, it's not really a property management simulator, as disappointed as I'm sure you all are about that. But it's nice to know that this place has been properly fixed up, and it's got all of these rooms. So many, so let's take a look at this room. It's got a bed. Okay, so I'm back in the game. What happened was the game didn't crash, but something caused the game to minimize. And this is one of those weird games where if the game minimizes, then when it comes back, it messes up the resolution and the colors. So I had to cut that bit out of the game. And so we were in this room, and I was taking a look around. I was like, oh, there's a bed here, a nice bit of tapestry. We've got torches on the walls. What's going on with this tapestry? There's a... Let's look up, right? So there's a dude in a... Or maybe a woman, hard to tell, in some sort of a cloak or a dress, maybe. And then there's this person. I don't know what is he carrying, a scroll, or is that a weird musical instrument? Hard to tell. But yeah, it's a nice bit of art that I'm sure we could appreciate if the resolution was a bit higher. And here's clearly an animal of some kind, a dog, I think. Let's just call it a dog. Sorry, I'm looking for the... Here we go. Awesome. I was looking for the key to level off our site, because we'd been looking up for a while. And yeah, that's a cool little bit of art. What's going on with this one? We got more dogs, it seems. All right, I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I like dogs. I'm more of a cat person, if I'm being honest, but I do like dogs as well. And here's a nice tapestry of, like, are these tapestries or are they paintings? They might be paintings, hard to tell, but whatever it was, that artwork was about a castle. This one seems to be a wagon, or like a horses pulling something, perhaps. Alright, I think that's enough admiring the artwork. Let's go back to walking around this place. Let's try and find... So, okay, so the staircase is this way. Now, let's go down. We've already been to the torture chamber area here. Our
Good evening.
golem is still there, just being a badass. Before we go down, let's go this way. Let's see what we got. These barrels are ones that we've already polished off earlier. Should I get rid of the corpses? Nah, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna bother. We'll leave them here. There we go. Now we can finally open that. I wonder if we could have opened it from the other side as well. And we're back
I don't know what that is.
to this room where we've already opened all of these things. So that's the upper section, I think, that we've gone completely through. Now let's take a walk back towards the lower sections. And let's take one last look at them. And I think that might be everything. I just need to remember how to get down. Or was it? It might have been from this room. Evidently, no. Here we go. Here we go. Now we see the lower section of this castle. And it seems like this is...
I don't know
Oh,
what that
hey,
is.
there's a wand that I left lying around.
Beats the heck out of me.
Not gonna worry too much about that. Seems that this is largely the same as we left it, although there is more over here showing some of the specific pieces of torture equipment. Here's a room
Can't identify
with some
this.
enemies that we cleared out
Beats the heck out of me.
ages ago. Alright. That, I think, just about concludes our tour of this castle. So we looked around, we saw the rooms, we saw the library. Inside the library we found this interesting scroll on cryptography. Who knows, perhaps that's going to be relevant somewhere down the line, or perhaps not. We'll see. And then we came down, took another look at this place. Oh, before we go, let's take another look at this place, which was so annoying to get into. Let me just, oh yeah, by the way, this is what the game looked like, what the colors looked like after minimizing. So when you save a game, it also takes a screenshot. This is what it looked like. And yeah, it was not pretty. So it was... such a pain getting inside this area the first time, because it's not a... the hole isn't quite big enough for you to get into. You've got to kind of glitch your way through it, at least unless I'm doing something very wrong. And hey, here's another thing that we just left on the ground, a journal excerpt. Alright, let's take a look at that. What does that say? So this is about clearly somebody who's making use of this torture chamber. So seems to be a transcript that somebody made, a scribe who was given the rather grim task of noting down a conversation between a torturer and the guy who's being tortured. Okay. Okay, it looks like in this case torture did work, and he gave them at least some kind of information. Now, whether that information is true or not, I can't really verify. He's yeah. Okay, let's not delve too deeply into that. Maybe he was telling the truth. Maybe he just told the torturers what they wanted to hear, but either way, they seemed to be content with the answer he gave about southern Erathia, and they let him go. What we're gonna do is we're gonna cast haste, or cast our spells again, and before we leave our
I have no idea.
oh, here's another letter that we just left lying around. Light the signal fires when you know that the humans are at their weakest. Okay, we'll hold on to that as well. Although I think that ship has sailed. I think we're past this point. I don't think signals are a thing anymore. Although I might be wrong. It might play into the end game. Alright. So we're almost done with our nice, chill, low pressure, no combat exploration of our pretty impressive castle. If this was a dungeon with combat to be had and quest items and quest objectives strewn all around, could have been a pretty impressive one. But I also like the fact that it's just a big place with no combat, that you can just walk around and look at things. There are other places as well like that, you know, the castles, you know, and the Barrow Downs, but to explore them you kind of have to be sneaky with invisibility, and even with invisibility sometimes you can't really go in without places becoming hostile. But it's nice to have a place where you can just walk around and look, because this is the kind of thing that I think really helps the game feel immersive and feel like a real world. Because in a real world, of course, there are going to be places where you can just walk around. Not everything has to be like a scripted, formulaic, hack and slash encounter. Not everything has to have some crucial quest or like main quest or side quest objective inside it. Sometimes a place is just a cool place to walk around and take a look around. And so that's why I'm pretty happy that we finally got a chance to do that in our castle. I'll never get tired of saying it. I love the fact that we own an actual castle in this game. I think that's the only instance that I know of in at least these 3 games. It's been a long time since I've played Might and Magic 4 and 5, but I don't remember you as a player actually owning a castle in those games either. Might and Magic 9, again, I don't think you as the player's party ever actually get to say that you are lords of a castle. So yeah, this is a really, really nice touch. And this is one thing that I love about this game that isn't in Might and Magic 6 or Might and Magic 8. Like, usually when I compare this to those games, it's me talking about how this game has gotten something wrong or something that they did better. But in this instance, the game has done something really cool that isn't in those other games. And for that, I really appreciate it. And the reason I refreshed our buffs was because before we leave, let's just take a look at these shops.
See anything you want?
Well, it looks like selling low to mid-tier armor. We'll buy something and sell it back to you.
Thanks a lot.
That way you're gonna be happy, even though it's essentially the same as us entering and leaving without doing any purchases. But you know what? I don't want our own shopkeepers to be upset.
Need a new weapon?
So we're gonna take a look at what this guy has as well. Ooh, Elf Sling, Champion Sword, Great Sword, Regnan Cutlass. You know what?
Thanks. Come again.
Let's enchant this before we sell it back. Because then at least we can we can say we did something for the guy. And this is, alright. I think you doubled the value. Regnant Cutlass of David. That's the first time I've seen this enchantment. Pretty cool name for the enchantment, but a bit too niche. Like, I'd much rather have something of the dragon, which gives you a small bonus against everything versus a large bonus against a type of enemy that you will only ever find in, like, 2 places in the entire game. But yeah, that's still nice to see.
My bags are full.
Still nice to see it, though. Alright. So let's
Need a new weapon?
sell it back to you.
Thanks. Come again.
Made a profit of about 500, but you know what? At least we helped. We did something, and our in-house shopkeepers are happy with us. Let's just leave things at that, and I think really it's time to wrap up this episode, because this is the last thing we needed to do before officially kicking off the proper endgame. Let's go back to Celeste. And let us position ourselves to be ready. We actually have no quests right now, but if you remember what Robert the Wise told us, he said that Resurrectra would be waiting with Magnus inside Castle Lambent, I think. That's this place, right? Or no, I think this is the temple. Temple or castle? This is the castle, alright. Yes. Inside this castle is gonna be the NPC that sends us on the next stage of our quest. But we're not going to be talking to them in this episode, because I want there to be a bit more hype when we embark on that part of the... so, like, getting the quest, not really a spoiler, but it would take a bit of the surprise out of it. Because we want to know what we're doing when we're ready to actually do it, and not in this, relaxed episode where we're not going to worry about quests, not going to worry about combat. We're just here to have a chill time, but even chill times eventually must come to an end. And on that note, I think we are going to wrap up this episode, taking care of the last thing I needed to do, which was to finally look around our own Castle Harmondale. And with that done, we're ready to make some more main quest progress, which we will do in the next episode. So I hope you had a good time. Thanks for watching, and I hope you'll join me in the next episode, where, as I mentioned, things are gonna get pretty exciting. Alright, and with that, I will say to you that until we see each other again, take care.